all-wheel drive.
We're doing it.
You figured it out.
Welcome back, I'm Tedward, and welcome to the Porsche Experience Center here in Atlanta, Georgia, where we're gonna be driving this beautiful 992 Turbo S, the 911 Turbo S. Man, it's like the luxury Grandpa GT with some violent tricks up its sleeves. We've got a twin turbo flat six making 640 horsepower, a ton of torque. It's all-wheel drive, but it can send plenty of it to the rear, still lots of fun. It's a complete animal. It looks awesome in yellow, and it has heated and cooled seats. So unlike our GT3 drives that we've done today, we're going to be in a little bit more of luxury, except for the fact that the point and shoot nature of this car is outrageous. Now, one of the greatest things about this car is its more old school nature compared to the modern day GT3. The new GT3 has double wishbone suspension, whereas this still has the McPherson front. And it honestly makes the car feel a little more like an old school 911, where you get off the power, it's going to rotate. So does the GT3, but this still has that sort of wash away front end where you ride it to the edge of understeer almost, and that's how you know where the edge of grip is. Anyway, we're gonna go out, play with this on the full circuit, which is wild. They don't do this very often. We're gonna take both of the circuits that they have out here and connect them to have a long one, and we're gonna go out and play in some low grip environments, because at the Porsche Experience Center here, you are getting not only the opportunity to drive your dream cars or potentially the car that you have on order or are picking up, but you also have the opportunity to get really killer instruction from really talented drivers. So if you're trying to hone your skills and have a good day, it's great for just a solo event, or if you're just trying to get your, somebody a gift. This is, I mean, who wouldn't want to be here? This is the best. So let's jump in and go for a drive. Oh yeah.
So top button,
the
you're
grip
on one right now. Click it off and click it again. It'll give you all, full power, heated below. You want the AC high or anything. Now you got more creature comforts in this one.
I need it. The thing that's keeping me from nausea is cool air, and I'll tell you, this does the job. Oh, and look at the the luxury.
Right, nice.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, we're taking that little manual crank bar down. We'll give you a nice little button to play with.
All right, let's see. We'll be in sport mode. That's fine. We have our bronze shaver.
I love that someone else gets that. I say click my electric shaver in the drive, and people look at me like, you don't see it?
Go for it here. Oh, you can feel it grappling at the front wheels. Now the steering on this compared to a GT3, a lot different, because there's a couple things going on. Number one, we've got a McPherson strut up front, so we're not dealing with the double wishbone that we get in the GT3. Number two, we are sending power to the front, so that's gonna adjust the dynamic a little bit. The steering is so much heavier in the Turbo S than it is, but we gotta get on the brakes a little bit sooner in this car because we are collecting speed at an alarming rate. Oh, these never get old. It's bizarre that this is the Grandpa 911, the Grandpa, daily driver, but it is not. It is just brutal. You gotta think about throttle inputs before you give them. I mean, I'm just like, all right, I need to learn the car a little bit, lift a little early, because it's just bananas. And you get out of the GT3, which has more front end grip. Look at the snaps, crackles, and pops coming out of this exhaust. They want you to know that you're in it. But the front end grip, still really impressive. We'll track out here, a little bit more understeer. And it has that lift off oversteer just a little bit to help me position the car. But yeah, this is, I gotta say, compared to a GT3, this feels more like the way I think of a 911. When I think of a 911, I'm thinking of that rear engine feel, that bias where, you definitely notice your throttle control very directly controls your angle, your slip angle. And this car feels like an older 911 more than a modern 992 GT3 does. But we get back on power, and we gotta think.
Come on, perfect.
Because you could just be suicidal in this car. I mean, it's really something.
Once those turbos light, she's gone.
I like double apexing that one in this more than the GT3. I feel like the GT3 can hang on the inside, and this feels like it likes to track out.
You'll get a little bit of that float when you come out of that tight left back there, and it just plants you right into that hairpin or that carousel.
off that throttle early here, because otherwise you're just gonna grenade yourself into a rail. It's crazy. Brakes still, of course, phenomenal. I don't have quite as much feel as I do in the GT3, but it's not any kind of, you know, dearth of tactility. And the thing is, you've got to come off the throttle more gentle than I'm doing. I'm still learning and I'm having fun, and thank God we're not timing this.
That's one thing I like about the GT3 versus Turbo. You see two completely different cars wearing that same 911 badge.
I mean, they couldn't behave more differently.
Yeah,
it's wild.
Night and day.
But I feel like this is like oddly more playful in a sick way. I think it's just because you've got this brutal throttle under your foot.
Yeah. And you got to feel that liftoff. So you said it earlier, like how forgiving the rear is on the 911, on the GT3. You pop throttle, it doesn't really do a whole lot. You pop throttle in this, you feel that rear getting a little bit light. But it puts you nice into those corners, and it's a blast of a car.
I saw the 4RS up here going kind of slow, so I wasn't gonna pop out of there wide open. Yeah, man, this actually has more of that old school, you know, 911 vibe to me.
Picture a retake on the 930 Turbo.
Yeah.
One of those brakes, come off slow, perfect. That was perfect.
I love how it's doing this at like 2,500 RPM in certain circumstances. Like, oh, who cares?
Yeah.
You feel the weight though, you know,
She's
and I
got some weight.
can feel it in two places. One is on the brakes, and two is just tire, I don't want to say degradation, just heat, right? I know that I'm putting excess heat when I'm being an asshole on the brakes. Like, I know that if I feel ABS, that...
Yeah, you're throwing a lot more weight at it, but you're still running the 4S's versus those Cup 2s. I wouldn't still call it point and shoot like I would with the 4RS.
No, it's not. It still requires finesse. It's just that the problem. All right, I will say the biggest problem with this car is that you can cover up every mistake with your right foot.
Sure.
Because if I'm slow, well, guess what? I'm not.
Yeah.
All right, let's move over to maybe the wet thing.
Yeah. So we'll keep going this way.
All right.
Well, what we'll do when we come out of that billboard right, there's an access road. We'll come up. We'll go through the kick plate once, or we can go around it. If you don't want to do it, we can go right to the circle.
Let's go to the kick plate for the hell of it, for kicks.
Sure. Yeah.
Why not? I'm sure you've heard that joke.
I haven't, honestly. That's the
seriously?
first time I don't hate it.
Come on.
Let's go tight right. We'll stay up this access road here.
Okay.
Yep.
Good.
And we'll just cruise like you've been. This is, a neighborhood street.
Yeah. So
keep going, and lift. Yeah, I mean, it's simple.
Cool.
With this thing, it's pretty much right now.
Yeah.
So we'll come straight off the center like you're doing.
Okay.
And then take me right left to the cones.
Got you.
Right.
Now this is where I'm like really a failure. So this is where we're gonna get uncomfortable, and
Start it off.
This is where I have to admit that I'm not very good at drifting all-wheel drive cars until today, and I finally got it thanks to the instructor here at PEC Atlanta. I've always been a rear-wheel drive guy, and it's been a little bit of a fear and barrier to overcome to like understand how to get an all-wheel drive car to drift on a skid pad, and this is me showing you some frustrations and success.
If you were off power and it's starting to come around, roll that back in smoothly, and then again, that's going to recover your slide.
Right.
When you need more angle, pop off that throttle hard. It's going to dip the front end. Remember, still sending power to the front, so when she drops, wheels are already turned in, it's going to want to swing that back end
all right,
around.
we're gonna see how terrible my listening skills are, and we're just gonna
Power.
see. This is where I'm like, all right, 2 feet in, as they
Jake,
say.
play with it.
All
That's
right.
what you're here for.
All right, so I'm gonna induce. Let's see.
Doesn't take much. Power. So it's just going to be finding that match point with when you want to bring that power back in. So see how when you add power, it's starting to recover?
Yeah.
But we're already too far.
It feels so counterintuitive because adding power to me normally is like,
I
oh, you're
know,
spinning
I
the
know.
car.
It's such a mind game.
All right.
Lift. We'll go up a little bit harder. Lift. There it goes. Power. Stay in it. Stay in it. It's power. Keep in it. Keep in it. There you go. A little less. There it is. Now, when you need more rotation, lift. A little bit less. A little bit less. There you go. And click second gear if you want. Slows the RPMs down. Look at you, Mr. I can't drift all-wheel drive.
We're doing it.
You figured it out.
We're doing it. Holy shit, we're doing it.
Power. Lift a little. That'll slow you down. Baby throttle.
Oh,
There it
dude, we're getting
You said you
somewhere.
couldn't do all-wheel and you just did it.
Oof, I don't feel like comfortable. I was like white knuckling the whole
But
time.
you got it.
Oh
it's
my
just
goodness.
Once you get over the difference from you're used to rear-wheel drive sliding, it's a tiny different change, but you got
Oh my god. All right, we'll give that another
Yeah.
little shot.
it. There it is. Power.
We can, no, we don't have enough.
Saved it. If you like the whole starting slower, like you can, like I said, you do a quick flip of throttle.
Yeah, that's
and lift,
comfortable.
and it puts you right in the slide. And then once you get your angle down, click second gear. That way you don't spike the revs as high.
Okay, all right.
There it is. There it is.
Get out of his way.
It's all right. Garrett does a good job. He'll keep his face down. Flip it, lift, recover it. There, keep in it, keep in it, keep in it, keep in it. Second gear. There you go. Slow your foot down. A little less power. Lift to get rotate. Power to spring you out of it. Keep your vision up ahead where you want her to go, and your foot and your hand will follow. Look out! Look at that.
And we'll
keep
stop.
going, because he'll get out of your way.
Legendary! Oh, I'm the happiest guy in the
Talk
world.
about redemption,
Yes,
and we'll
cool.
jump
We'll
on
pull
that
out.
party.
Yes.
Good job, man.
All right.
Here real quick.
Cool.
And then we'll go over to those cones there.
Amazing.
Awesome.
All right, so that's gonna do it for the 992 Turbo S. Thank you guys so much for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Don't forget to respect the drive, and I'll see you in the next one. And a huge thank you to Porsche for taking me out here to play with their cars in Atlanta. Man, oh man, I am so excited for New England spring. The weather here is perfect.